Alright, so I'm sitting there, skinny pop in hand, gassed up about Aspinall versus Gane. Then 10 minutes later, I'm yelling at my TV about fingers and foam. How do you go from walk-off KO to no contest heartbreak in one card? Here's my take. UFC 321 was the whole MMA experience in one night. Future star potential, a champion crowned through grit, and a heavyweight title fight reminding everyone that the UFC still has an eye-poking problem it hasn't solved. Welcome to Abner's Counterpunch. Let's get a quick map of the night. Quillan Salkilld detonates a head kick on Nasrat, resulting in a walk-off KO, a performance bonus, and the internet going crazy. In the co-main, Mackenzie Dern outworks Verna over 5, new strawweight champ, an emotional belt moment with her kid, and then the main event, Aspinall versus Gane, the fight we all wanted. Ends on an accidental eye poke, no contest, but there's more here than bad luck. Let's start with the night peak, Salkilld. That kick was violent and technical. He didn't just whip a leg and pray, he set the trap, pulled Nasrat into the lane, and switched his lights off like rent was overdue. Rising Australian lightweight, Quillan Salkilld is now 10-1, 3-0 in the UFC. 10 straight wins overall. He entered off Contender Series in 2024, starched his debut in 19 seconds, then stacked another W before meeting Nasrat, an 8-year vet on a 5-fight streak. Mid-round head kick lands flush, walk-off, performance of the night, and yes, people call it a knockout of the year contender. Beating a streaking veteran like that usually vaults you straight into ranked conversations. Salkilld didn't just steal a moment, he took it. This isn't just prospect hype, it's prospect proof. When you sleep a 5-win vet clean, the matchmakers start dialing ranked names. Salkilld even admitted seeing his opponent out cold was scary. How does a prelim KO end up not being the story of the night? We'll get there. In the co-main, Mackenzie Dern, this was the version most people have been waiting for. It's still BJJ royalty, but with enough stand-up to win minutes the hard way. Dern defeats Verna by unanimous decision, 48-47 twice, 49-46 once, to claim the vacant strawweight title. The fight was competitive. Jandiroba hit takedowns consistently, but Dern's damage and output, jabs, leg kicks, elbows from the bottom, tilted rounds. The media had mixed reactions, but largely positive on Dern's evolution. Some thought 49-46 was a stretch, as did I. Most had Dern edging with aggression. The emotional image, Dern with a daughter in the cage. 2 notes on this one. Evolution is real. Secondly, don't let Twitter convince you that every close fight is a robbery. Sometimes someone just edged the hustle. Dern's striking didn't have to be prettier, just insistent. That's a champion straight. Okay, so how did all that get overshadowed by an eye poke? Because heavyweights, that's how. I was hyped, you were hyped. Aspinall's first title defense, Gane looking for redemption. They start, they're reading each other. I actually thought Gane was having the upper hand most of that first round, and then his fingers find Aspinall's eyeball. Everything stops. Late in round 1, Gane's outstretched hand makes contact with Aspinall's eye. Immediate pain response. The doctor steps in, and after the recovery window, Aspinall says he can't see. Under the rules, if a fighter reports serious vision impairment that doesn't clear, you're done. Bout waved off as a no contest because it's accidental and early. Crowd was salty, the internet even louder. And then the worst take of the night, Aspinall quit. Stop. If you've ever been poked clean, you know it's not just sting. Your vision goes static. You can't make reads, you can't defend. You're gambling your eyesight in a division where guys swing cinder blocks. And look, as an amateur boxer, I get it. Reframe with our lead hand all the time. Control range, control distance. But we've got 10 to 12 ounce gloves on. You clip a guy with that, he barely blinks. Do the same motion bare-fingered, you're digging into someone's cornea. So yeah, accidental, but it's built into the motion. Dana basically said it. Only the fighter knows if he can see. Health and safety take priority.
Together to fight, I can't make people fight. And you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. You know, could he see, couldn't he see, could he continue? Only he knows that.
Meanwhile, Gane actually looks sharp before the foul, more ready for the wrestling, rhythm on the feet, zero blame on intent, pure accident. The immediate sentiment from UFC brass, run it back ASAP, early next year if the eye heals clean. Look at Aspinall's face in that freeze frame. That's not a guy escaping a fight, that's a guy getting robbed of the fight he trained for. When you lose vision, you don't get to tough it out, you're one punch away from a permanent L. So if nobody's at fault, why does this keep happening? Eye pokes are one of the most common fouls in MMA. Since 2005, at least 7 UFC fights have ended in no contest due to eye pokes. Think Jeremy Stevens versus Yair Rodriguez, Leon Edwards versus Bilal Muhammad. That's just outright stoppages. Broader analysis estimate around 10% of UFC bouts involve an eye poke at some point, roughly 1 in 10. By comparison, a sample dataset put Bellator closer to 1 in 44 after they introduced a more curved glove.
So as I was saying, you've never seen the Pride gloves, huh?
No.
They're hard to find, the original ones, because they used to take them from us after the fight. You can barely keep your glove. They wouldn't let you keep it. But the way they were designed, because I'm doing my own MMA league here soon, and I'm getting the same type of glove. And they curve your hand. It was a perfect mix of a boxing glove with an MMA glove. And so you can't eye poke people with it, the way it makes your hand curve. And that's how you fix the problem.
10%. 1 out of 10. You can't build storylines when 1 of every 10 has a dice roll baked in. So is the fighters being sloppy? Or is it gear nudging us toward the problem? Rules have tightened. Outstretched fingers toward the face is explicitly illegal. Refs shout hands closed. Warnings come quick.
I've already said 3 times, keep the hands closed. I know it's difficult when you're coming together and leave the hands closed, okay? Keep them closed. Come back in.
But the gear is the constant. The current UFC gloves is relatively flat and stiff. It doesn't encourage a natural curl. Some fighters say it almost forces the hand open unless you consciously make a fist. Trevor Whitman built the ONX glove. Curved architecture, fingers naturally bent down. Huge praise across the board. Commentators swore by it. UFC didn't adopt it though. IP and business reasons.
Oh, this is way better.
Put you in
So
such
you're
a
not gonna have here,
comfortable
but
hand, but like it's a
relaxed.
normal position.
Have you brought these to the UFC?
I have.
It's far superior.
Dana loved the gloves. He was blown away by them. The issue is they're with a company called Diaco. That's one who makes the manufacturing products, and they wanted to own the technology because all of our stuff is patented.
But just this right here, where it's not
Like your
forcing your
grip,
hand open.
Your grip is
Yeah.
so good,
Comfortable. I
So
feel
much
comfortable.
better.
So no.
Instead, they updated their own model in 2024 with tweaks, a step in the right direction. Justin Gaethje basically said, improvements, yes, but you'll never eliminate pokes with open finger gloves. Dana echoed that.
Dana, it seems like the fighters are going to be competing in the old gloves this weekend. Can you tell us why that is?
Because there were a lot of complaints about, we originally created these gloves to stop eye pokes, and you know, we had good intentions with them. They didn't work out, people weren't happy with them, so I actually made the decision, called our chief operating officer Lawrence and said, I'm switching the gloves, I want new the old gloves back.
Is it going to be the old gloves moving forward now?
Yes, the new gloves are now the old gloves.
No matter the glove, some pokes will happen. So we can't hit 0. Okay, but we can aim for less. It's about the glove assisting the behavior the rules already want. Closed hands near the face, open hands at frames angle down. Yeah, there's another lever no one wants to pull because it hurts. Veteran Jim Miller offered the nuclear option, automatic point deduction, or even purse deduction on any poke with fingers extended. No warning. The logic is you'll see immediate behavioral change if a single lacy frame costs you on the cards or in your wallet. Would that be harsh? Yep. Would fighters adapt overnight? Also, yep, probably. You don't need to land a warning if the first one hits your checkbook. So should accidents cost you money? That's the debate. But just ask Aspinall's eye if it felt accidental. And look, nights like UFC 321 is the reason why we love this insane sport. Violence, real perseverance, then the gut punch of randomness. So what do we actually take away? Salkild's for real. That wasn't a sugar high KO. It was clean mechanics against a legit vet. He should be fighting someone with a number next to his name next time. And if he keeps setting traps like that, the lightweight Shark Tank just got a new fin. Then Mackenzie earned the strap by being stubborn in all the right ways. It wasn't a poster fight, it was a grown-up win. And finally, the poke. We can defend the fighters and still demand the system improve. Curved gloves as default, coaching emphasis on hand posture, and arguably considering point deductions for fingers towards the face, which I'm still not 100% on board on. Let me know what you think down below. Run back Aspinall versus Gane, book Dern versus Suarez, and give Salkilld a ranked dance partner next time. And if you're pissed about the no contest, same. But don't point at the fingers, point at the problem, because it looks like we're gambling 1 out of 10. Now, if tiny choices can't decide nights, you should see why Canelo could have done more versus Crawford. Click here for that video, and while you're at it, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next chaos we break down. Later.